Hi everybody, today I'm going to make another grid patch without too much of a plan, a little bit of one, but not a whole lot. And I had somebody comment on another video that I made a week or two ago about wanting to understand phase a little bit better. So I will get into a little bit of that today in the grid, and we're just going to see what happens. So on this track, I already have this Serum 2 patch loaded up. It's a Car Plus synth that I made. I'm a big fan of that sound, but you can use anything. So for some reason, I want to use the note grid here, but for some reason it's been a little squirrely for me lately. So I'm going to start with Polygrid. And a lot of what I'm going to be doing here we can now do with the step access module, but just to get more into the phase aspects, I will do it with that. So, and yeah, for whatever reason, if I start in Polygrid and then convert to Note Grid, it's working, and if I start in Note Grid, sometimes it's not. So I'm just going to go through that here in case you too are having that issue. So I'm going to grab a couple of triggers modules. Got one, I'll double it, and connect that to a clock quantize. This will be for the triggers, the gates rather. And I'm going to get a count. And this is going to move the steps module, which will be responsible for the notes. We'll start this off here with a 7/16 Euclidean rhythm. So this is going to now spread 7/16 notes out over the course of a bar. And what's going on right now is because this phase symbol here is active, it's taking the phase pre-chord from Bitwig. So it's just getting this phase signal right here. And that's what we're working with right now. And we'll change that a little bit later. So for the notes, I'm going to get a pitch quantize. And I just got a new guitar today, so I recorded something in earlier with that in C minor, so I'll set this to C minor. And this is going to go to, did I get an in? I think I did. Okay, this is what I want. So this is going to go to the notes out. This is also going to need a I'm kind of doing this in the wrong order here, but that's okay. Steps here, and a pitch scaler, so that it's not going through a million different octaves. So now it'll all be between C3 and C4, 1 octave. And now this is going to, so you see this phase counter, each time it's getting a gate signal, is moving the steps here. I'm going to make this 16 steps since that's what we've got here. And now send this over to the gates. To make it a little bit clearer that we're in C here, I want to start there. I'll make this, oh, I actually want to randomize it a little bit, but oh, it's this one. It's this one. I don't know which one it is. I guess it's not that important because I'll probably be changing this anyway. So it's playing this sequence. And something I also want to do here is get a select and a transport playing. I now have this backwards. So I just like to do this so that the patch doesn't actually play when the transport isn't moving. So now if I push the play button, it'll trigger this, which selects the second input, which is coming from here, and now this is playing, and so is the patch. Okay. So it's doing this initial pattern that I have going here, and I can instead disable the phase. Oh, I've got to disable that one too because it's going by itself. And probably, just to make sure we don't get any weird jumps, I'm going to put a sample and hold after the pitch quantize and take the trigger from the clock quantize. So now each time a gate is getting triggered, it's going to hold the note that's coming out at that time. I don't know if it'll make... I already disabled the phase chord here, so... Yeah, that's definitely changing the melody up. So I'm going to get the phase in here. So these are disabled now, and I'm going to connect the phase to both of these triggers. And I'm going to grab also an oscilloscope so that we can see what is happening. Okay, so this is the phase. So as the phase signal is moving, you can see here in the steps, it's moving along with this phase line, which is just going from 0 to 1 linearly. And I can take other modules to mess with that. There's all of these will do something with the phase. One that might be kind of cool is reverse, but just for example, if I throw a bend in here, still we're going to see the same thing, but if I bend it, now it's got this curve to it, and we'll hear that. That's kind of funny. Mirror, now it's going to go back and forth. And you can change the shape of that. Reverse is, pinch is similar to bend, but it's like got a inflection point in the middle. It's bending around. And you can just go through all these and experiment with them. The reverse, of course, will go in the opposite order. Doesn't seem to be doing it, though. Oh, that is because it's reversing the phase of these, but not of the phase counter, because that's counting the number here. Probably I could just... So now it's running linearly in reverse. Okay. take the signal back from the phase counter. So, you know, and I guess I don't really need the phase counter here. What I'll do is get a select in. I'll take the original phase signal here, and then this is going to go over to our steps. So now that's just going in the normal order. And I'll take this here. We don't need to see it anymore. And we want this phase just to be going straight to the triggers because I don't want to change what the triggers are doing with this particular thing. And I'm going to reactivate. That's right click on it to get this where you can activate, deactivate. Okay, and this is going to go to the second input. And so right now that's not doing anything because we're just getting the first input, but I'll get a value. And now if I twist this knob, it should it's just going to play that melody in reverse. So what I'll do here for that is get a steps modulator. And I'll set it to bars. 4 bars. These are all going to be 0. This one will be 1. And now that's going to modulate the value here. So it'll go through 3 bars forward and it'll do 1 bar in reverse. And, you know, really, I'm just kind of playing around, winging it. But, you know, as you're doing this, just play around with all the other phase modules, see what you can do. Maybe you'll get something really cool out of it. All right, so that's the first part here. I'll just keep that pretty simple. I think I want to throw a delay on here. It sounds like that Police song. Kind of. Okay, so these two I'm going to group. And now I'm going to add a drum machine here. And I know that I want to send something from this same patch, but completely different to the drum machine. So what I'm going to do here is, if you see in Serum 2, we've got the option to choose what channel it's going to get. So I just want Serum 2 to get MIDI channel 1. This right here, MIDI, is channel 1, so that can stay the same. I'll just take this. Maybe I'll just rebuild the next bit of the patch from scratch. So just to, you know, be thorough about it, I guess. I want another out here. And this one I'm going to set to 2, MIDI channel 2. And then in this drum machine, I'm going to go and choose MIDI channel 2. So this drum machine should not get any information from here, and Serum 2 should not get any information from what we're going to build into this one. And I'm going to close out of here. I have this, as I mentioned, I recorded some guitar stuff earlier. This is just a DI from a nylon string guitar. I'm going to grab this, drag it onto here. So I want to slice this at onsets. And hopefully this will do it right. I don't know why it didn't start from C1. Okay, that's better. So now, yeah, it seems like some of these are good and some of them aren't. So I won't worry about going through all of these right now. But I'll just pick the good ones while I'm going through this. Some of these are chords, some of these are notes. It's a C minor 7 arpeggio and a couple of instances of chords here. I guess I am going to go through these. All right, so that's a little better. And now what I'll do is go back in here. And I get pitches. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and disable that now too. You know, I think this might be C3. So I'll take it down to octaves. Yeah, that's C1, which is where I want to be. So this is all in chromatically. And this will play some stuff. I don't know what it'll be. And I'll get another steps here. And I'll let this one just be 8 steps. And you know what? I will go ahead and use the step access. Because honestly, this patch is like super, super cool. And in fact, if I'm going to use step access, I don't need this. So this is going to connect here. Now we should see, yeah, this is responding. This will go to pitches. I changed that to MIDI too, yeah. And I'll get gates. I'm going to disable also the phase on this one. Connect this and connect that. I'm going to change this to pulse. So let's see what it's doing right now. Okay, so this is currently set to 8th notes, and it is... Why don't I just go ahead and make this 16 steps? Oh, 16 steps. So I'll make this 16 steps as well. And I'll make this 9 steps. So this is going to run through 9 of these 16 pitches sequentially. And it's only going to trigger when the gates are hitting over here. Both of these are going to follow the sequence coming from the step access. And this, you want it generally, you don't have to, but it's a good idea oftentimes to match the length of whatever the step access is triggering to the match all of these together is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so now we've got 16 gates, 9 of 6. We've got 16 gates, 16 pitches, and it going through sequentially hitting 9 of these in order. Okay, so I mean, that's already moderately interesting. And what I can do instead of all this phase business up here, I can take another step access. Before I start messing with this, actually, just to be clear, you can change how quickly it's moving, and you can change how many steps it's going to go through. Maybe I'll bring it down to 3, why not? And then this one is operating in much the same fashion. Make that quarter note. And if you mess with the offset here, so if I say 3, right, you see this move over here. It's now starting 3 steps ahead, but it's still going to go through 3 steps. Can't really hear it. Let me start off here by putting a compressor. Maybe that one doesn't have anything in it. I guess it does not. All right. So I'm going to use a couple of different step access modules to mess around with the initial step access. To do that, I'm going to get a modulator out. And this is now going to modulate the attributes of the first step access. So the rhythm here is going to stay the same, but where it's playing is going to change by the quarter note. And obviously this would be better if I had, been a little more fastidious when I was going through the sample that's chopped up here. Some of these are not good samples. And I'm okay with that. Because, whatever. That's what everybody likes to hear, right? I mean, it's kind of cool. It's what's that bad one? That one. I'll just take this one and put it okay. All right. I'm going to now double this one. And what's this? So this the first one is modulating the offset. So it's modulating where in this system of pitches the step access is starting. So I'll use this one to modulate the length. Maybe, this is a pretty long sequence, so why not go a little high? I'll try out half notes here. And, this probably would sound a little better with some more effects on it. I wonder if this might sound a little cool with pitch shift and the wet effects of the convolution. Move this up 12 semitones. That's pretty nice. All right, cool. I'll add in another something here. For this one, I'll just use a Polymer. Polymer is a nice synth. I like it. And this one, just, you know, I don't foresee myself keeping this patch, but it's nice. You can just look up label here or comment if you want to give yourself some notes. So I'll call this one Car Plus Sequence. And I'll drop another one in here and call this Guitar Machine Sequence. Okay. And since I've got the label here, why not Polymer? Ooh. Hope I didn't just mess everything up somehow. Okay, it's because there's a Polymer in here that's getting notes right. I was like, what the heck did I do? All right. Label, Polymer, Sequence. Right, so to ensure that that doesn't happen, I'm going to want to go here to channel 3 only. And this one, I'm going to let it be kind of a bass. I will use another pitches. Disable again the phase. This one, I'll just stick here where I am in C3 and let it, I'll change the octave another way if need be. That's not it. There we go. We'll use these notes. I'm going to use a sequence of 5. All right, for this one again, I'm going to use steps. I'll use, again, step access here to get to move this around. Make this 5 and make this 5. But I'm going to start with 3 notes. And yeah, 8th notes will probably be okay for here. Take another Gates. Send this here, disable the phase pre-chord, 5 steps. Let's see how this ends up working out. Use a pulse. And we're going to need another note out here. I will not be needing those probably. I'm going to make this channel 3. I believe I did this already. Channel 3, yeah. Okay. All right, so let's see where we are to start. We're not anywhere because I did not attach that. I'm going to take this down an octave. And just, I want this to start on C, so I'll switch those two around. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing as before here. Take another step access, modulator out. And this one can be quarter note again. And this will modulate this up by 2. I wonder if maybe, yeah, that's fine. All right, and I'm going to take another one of these, double that. I'll make, that's not what I want. I want this one to move. And I want this one to be 5. Why not? I'll let this one be also an 8th note. This is going to modulate the offset by 2. Let's see how this sounds. Kind of funny. But okay, that's an idea. I don't know. Maybe I don't love this. What if this is quarter notes instead? Maybe that should stay 8th notes and this should be quarter notes. Okay, it's a little goofy, but you know, whatever. So this is a drum kit that I made for a tune that I just finished up. It's a large drum set, of course, and I'm not going to use very much of it. But I am going to show something that I do with my drum kits normally, and I would typically have all of these, like all of the drums in their own bus, and you know, leads in their own bus. I probably wouldn't necessarily do this, having this bassy sound in with these other things. I mean, since these are all in their way their own bus, right? So the Polymer can have, you know, its own compressor, its own EQ. Probably gonna want one of those just for fun. I don't think there's really a lot of high frequency in this thing anyway, but yeah, that's like barely doing anything. Oh, that wasn't the right one. But Bitwig is thinking about its life right now. There we go. All right. back to the thing that I said that I was going to do. As you may already know, if you click the play button on one of these, you get to hear the sound. You see here, nothing's happening when I click the kick. And that's because there's not actually anything in there. See, like if I click on this shows this sample, this one, whatever. But this one doesn't have anything in it. It's just an empty pad. And the reason I do that is because I like to treat my kick separately. And, you know, you don't have to do this. I really, really like it. Won't get too much into it right now. But now I have this kick on its own separate track that I can do whatever I want to separate from the drum machine. And I just like it like this because then within this MIDI track, you know, I can just have them all together, right? I can put my kick in along with the snare and, you know, whatever rattles. But again, this isn't doing anything. So this, I just decided to put this in there because I think it is like kind of a fundamental thought process within Bitwig. And it's a simple thing, but the more, it just helps to get the idea of how Bitwig creators are thinking and how you might think when you're making something in Bitwig. So I put a note receiver in here. So there's two ways to do this. And this is another area where sometimes Bitwig can be squirrely. So I'll do it both ways regardless, but maybe the first way will work and maybe it won't. So this note receiver now isn't doing anything. This is where the source should be coming from here. So I want to go in here, occipital drums, drum machine chains. Okay, so it is in fact doing this squirrely thing here. I can only see, probably my screen is cut off here, but I can only actually see 6 of the drums, which is a little frustrating, obviously. But there's a workaround. Once again, I don't know how many drums, but more than 6 in my drum rack. So right now, all I can do is get all of these notes, which I don't want, right? Because that isn't the kick pattern that I want. I put in a 4 on the floor beat here, but it's playing these 16th notes because it's getting the notes from the rattles. So the way to fix that is to get I think it's called note filter, yeah. And the kick is on C1. Can't see it now, but it would really help if I was in the right frame, wouldn't it? Okay, so this is C1. That's B0, right? Next one is C1. There's no empty spot to move this right now. So I'm going to go down here, and the key range is currently set to everything. I'm going to go in here, put C1 to C1. And currently it's set to keep. That's what I want. It's only going to keep C1. I could set it to remove, and it would keep all of the notes but C1, which would leave me with the same problem that I had before. But now let's hear this again. Right? So that's cool. I like having that option. Yeah, cool. I guess that's all I got for now. Maybe I'll just plug in this new guitar that I got, because I guess while I moved a second ago there, I jostled the connection from my audio interface and I lost it. But what I was going to say is that I'm going to plug in this new guitar that I got because, you know, it's a new thing and I'm stoked about it. So here's the loop going on, and I'm just going to jam a little bit. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Normally I would actually record the guitar and mangle it up a bit, but that's just the sound through the interface. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, or night, whatever time of day it is for you, and see you next time.